Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Trash Talk Podcast. This is episode number 42, which is the best number in the universe because it's also the answer to everything.
Yes.
So let's make this a special podcast, JJ. What do we have today?
Well, so for the first topic, you wanted to talk about the Hearthstone Witchwood expansion
Yes.
and some decks to play in it.
Some decks to play in it because over the upcoming week and also in the past week, we have showed off some decks.
Yes.
Well, we played your Tess Rogue, I believe.
Yeah.
We also played, well, we did the TAD tutorial in between for the dungeon run, but next week we're definitely going to play some Shudderwock, because I got a Shudderwock Shaman, and we're also probably going to play some Face Hunter, because that's got a new life.
And the deck we kind of threw together, which is an even Toki made.
It's
for memes.
Tess Greymane Toki Time Tinker is the one he got for free.
Snow Flippers.
Snow Flipper Penguins, Mad Hatters.
Yeah.
Everything. So that's no pumpkin peasants.
Yeah.
No pumpkin peasants, which we need.
That was an oversight when we recorded that.
Yeah, you need to improve that, definitely. You're missing key cards there. That's also one we're gonna record and play. So let's address the elephant, or shall I say the Shudderwock in the room first, right?
Okay.
So Shudderwock is probably in the first week after release the most played card and deck. Well, not card, but definitely deck format in all of Hearthstone. Every one of them other wanted to play it because that combination just seems so crazy. And Shudderwock is a really good card.
Yeah.
So that OTK version is probably the most popular one at the moment, or at least the most well-known one.
It's a shame because the card could be good with, or it is very good without it.
Yeah.
But the problem is there's no reason to play it without it.
Because you can
just play it with.
Exactly, just abuse it that way. So there is other Shudderwock decks. There's more control-style Shaman decks that just use Shudderwock for insane value. They'll play Hagathaw and have the battle cry happen.
Yeah.
Shudderwock deals through to everything, uses board clears. They'll still be running gangs and life drinkers, but the OTK version, just to summarize it real quick, works the following. So you're gonna need to play at least one life drinker, at least one Serenite chain gang. You're gonna need to reduce the cost of a Murmuring Elemental in your hand to 1 by either using the Fireplume Harbinger for that or Grumble or World Shakering it back to your hand. You're also going to need to Grumble anyway, so that way will just work. You need to play Grumble because you need all those battle cries in the battle cry pool in order to basically do infinite damage and heal infinite to your hero with Shudderwock later on.
Well, so the way it works is the Electric triggers and the Grumble triggers. The Grumble in combination with the Chain Gang makes it so you're getting a 1 mana Shudderwock back on your hand. Right. And then you can play it again, and it will potentially give you another one back.
That's why you need the Murmuring Elemental on 1, because you need to go Murmuring Shudderwock to guarantee yourself to get a Shudderwock back on your hand.
And worst case scenario, basically, you're getting exactly one Shudderwock on your hand. Your opponent clears the board, you're playing a second Shudderwock next turn.
Exactly.
And you're getting none back.
That is true, but usually you're getting multiple Shudderwocks.
But that's extremely unlikely, of course.
Yeah, once you have 4 Shudderwocks on your hand, you're absolutely winning because they all cost 1 mana.
Yeah,
and they all do 6 damage and heal 3 and heal 6 to your own hero. So that's usually easily winning after that. And
also, this does usually run Primordial Drakes, which means that if you play the first one, of course it's not an instant win, but you also end up clearing the board most of the time. So to guarantee your win the turn after.
Which is not as bad. So if you're already in a predicament where you're not that high on health, which you have the Healing Rains in there, which you can play on turn 2 at last, but not on turn 2, but the Shudderwock turn number 2.
Yeah.
So you should be able to stabilize there. But yeah, the Primordial Drakes is a good control option. It's just a very good minion. Lich King is also possible at that spot, but just there's no AoE board clear and there's no battle cry that would be particularly beneficial. Other side battle cries that would be the Harbinger is actually pretty good because Shudderwock recast that, so any potential murmurings will cost 0 after.
Yes.
Can't complain about that. And then there's obviously weapon removal, which can come in handy. There is stuff like card draw, like Sandbinder, because Sandbinder's in that deck too.
Yeah.
But okay, that's for the deck construction. So Shudderwock is, well, the most popular one by Hearthstone replays. I think it was like one of the most played decks for sure. Its weakness lies in aggro, but it destroys control because any other control deck is significantly slower. Because Shudderwock, if cards are drawn somewhat correctly, can win by like turn 15, which most other control decks don't do that.
Yeah.
They either just outlast you, like win by fatigue, or they just increase their value to such a point in the late game that you can't hold against it anymore. So Shudderwock is a lot faster than that.
Another deck that is kind of similar, actually, is, of course, the Tess Miracle Rogue.
Yeah.
I personally like that deck better, but it's also less reliable.
That Shudderwock?
Yeah.
You think it's less reliable than Shudderwock? I don't think so.
Because the problem is, you never know what you're getting from your opponent's class.
Yeah.
And if you're only getting shit cards, that means Tess only replays shit cards, meaning you don't actually get too much value out of them.
I would have said it's exactly the other way around, though. I think the Rogue, over time, will probably be more reliable, whereas Shudderwock will be more of a boom.
Well, I'm not gonna say that the Rogue necessarily has a worse win rate, but I'm saying that, like, if you're going into a game,
yeah.
For the Shudderwock, you basically know what you're doing.
Yeah.
For the Rogue, you need to improvise a lot.
Of course, yeah, right.
And there's also a lot of decisions to be made in the deck, so that deck, there's definitely a lot of difference between a new player and someone who has a lot of experience with that type of play.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's always a choice, like, do I use my removal or do I try to fish for something?
Well,
that kind of
completely
stuff.
new player shouldn't hop into those kind of decks anyway right away.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's always more... New players should always just play some type of, like, probably more aggressive mid-range style, simple class, like Hunter or maybe Warrior.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's definitely this, like, aggro decks, there's not really a significant difference between skill levels. There is definitely a difference.
Yeah.
But, like, control decks, and specifically the ones for tests where you have to take into account what you
There's
could
more of a learning curve.
There is more of a skill gap there.
There's more of a learning curve in control decks than there is for aggro decks, because aggro decks are typically more straightforward. Speaking of which, aggro is back, man.
Yeah.
It's back, and it's back big time. Why do you not like that?
Because I like to play control, preferably.
Yeah, but that's good, though. If you play all the control, then you should be happy about there being a lot of aggro players. Because control beats aggro.
Not always.
It tends to beat aggro. Like of course, some control, like Quest Mage. Of course, that Quest Mage has like a win rate of like 20% these days. It's awful. But look at like Control Warlock or Q Block. That beats all the Paladins, all the Hunters. It's just good against it. So you gotta find the right deck for that. I'm not sure how good your Mage still is. Your Control Mage.
No, that's the problem. I think the only good control deck right now is the Warlock. Isn't
Warlock is really, really good. That is true. So what are really good control? I mean, there's Spiteful Druid, which isn't really that much of a control deck.
Yeah.
I guess all the Spiteful Druid is a tier 1 deck. It's really good. So is Spiteful Priest, of course, still. Big Priest is kind of done for.
Yeah, I know.
And the Dragon Combo Priest is also pretty much downhill. Haven't seen that much Priest. Like, it doesn't happen that much anymore.
Yeah, in general, like, the new meta that shook me up pretty bad, because there's like, I have like 2 decks that I can kind of run, which is the Aggro Hunter, the Baku Face Hunter.
Yeah, and the Rogue.
And the Rogue. And the Rogue doesn't seem that reliable.
See, for me, it's exactly the other way around again, because I love the new expansion, and I love the possibilities that I get from it. So
I like a lot of the new cards, but I'm just saying I'm not that big on the new meta.
I love the new meta more than I ever have, because probably the 2 least played and 2 weakest classes at the moment might just be Priest and Mage.
Yeah, I like
which
those
couldn't
classes.
be better. That's great, because I hate them. Well, yeah, I basically hate those classes. I hated facing them my entire life. I hated all the Cabal classes until I finally started playing Warlock myself. And I hated always the actually cool classes outside of any like in-game stuff. Actual cool classes to be so bad and lose to those.
You know how once again, I like to always bring that up when we're having discussions and that kind of stuff. Like, the whole, like, the two of us having very different personality types.
Yeah.
Comes up again where you are more aggressive and I'm more of the defensive control type.
You can't tell me that Hunter and Warrior aren't cooler characters in general than like a priest or a mage.
Well, cooler than priest for sure, but like, come on. Mages, wizards, slinging around spells and all?
No.
Spellcasters are awesome.
That's not a cool way to fight, man, in real life. Oh,
well,
man.
in real life there is no magic, so that's kind of lame.
That's not.
Just imagine like a stage magician fighting against like a legitimate knight.
I could see Hearthstone being really good if there was no spells.
No.
I could see it be real good if there was no spells.
I mean, it probably would still be an interesting game, but no.
Yeah. Hearthstone without spells. I can see it. And Mage and Priest can just go to hell, basically. I do not care. As long as Hunter and Warrior are good, those are actually cool classes. Like, you would respect a Hunter or a Warrior in real life, right? If you came across one.
Yes, but if there was a real life wizard, I would definitely also respect them.
Given that magic was just a regular thing, like it was just normal that way.
Yeah, but it's still not like everyone in the Warcraft universe is a spellcaster.
But not everyone is a warrior or a hunter.
No, but there's more people being warriors than there is being wizards.
Well, that would speak for being a warrior, wouldn't it? If it apparently pays better or something like that.
No, it's because it's easier to learn.
I don't know.
Fighting with a sword is easier to learn than using magic.
Sounds cool.
Which is highly volatile. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Anyway, I'm cool with never seeing a mage again in my entire life. That's also gonna be the one class that I'm really not playing at all. That and Druid and Shaman up until now I've never really touched.
Yeah, I've never really played Warrior till the Deadman's, and then shortly afterwards the Deadman's died, and that's...
Yeah, now it's done for because of the cold lights. You can still play it in Wild.
Yeah.
Just like my Kingsbane Rogue. So this meta, I already know that I'm going to be playing mostly Paladin, Warlock, and Hunter.
I'm probably going to be playing mostly Rogue, which,
Really, Rogue? For a while I thought that Rogue might just be the absolute bum class this time. Like what used to be Shaman last time.
Yeah.
And Paladin before that. I thought Rogue might be that class. But now I feel like it might be Mage and I couldn't be happier about it. So, another pretty good deck that's not the aggro type, but more the control type, or very much the control type, would be the Quest Warrior. Which has been brought back to life basically by the Odd synergy.
Yes.
Because you get Tank Up, which is the hero power that...
Interestingly enough, I've faced a lot of the Baku warriors, but none of them ran the quest, or... No, wait. Not
really?
But a few of them didn't run the quest, and I faced one who played the quest in like turn 5 for some reason.
Alright.
Which, that one really
confused me. Did he play Taunt
me.
Minions before?
He played one Taunt Minion before, yeah.
Okay. Well, still, though. They're running the Phantom Militias and all that stuff. It's not that hard anymore to get the quest done.
The Quest Warriors actually a deck that I would be interested in playing as well. Once I have the quest,
you need the quest, and the question is how many more Angora packs are you gonna be pulling?
I don't know.
See, because Angora is already rotating out in a year.
Yeah, in a year. That's not really a factor, but
Witchwood's staying for 2 years.
Witchwood is like. Okay, those are the new cards. Those
Gotta
are probably
get your
the ones I
hands on
have
those.
the least of.
Yeah.
The question is, what do I want out of those packs?
Right.
And I don't know how much stuff there is that I still would want out of the Angora packs.
Well, quests for the most part.
Yeah, quests.
You can never go wrong with a Tareem Sunkeeper.
I still want to try an Odd Quest Hunter. Apparently it's not good, but I still want to try it.
Quest Hunter, yeah, you could try it. The meta is still not established, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like I've seen videos where they run it with Toxmonger and Houndmaster Shaw. It's really good.
Yeah, but that's not the odd variety again because those are even cost.
Yeah.
There's also a problem with the Frenzy, for example, because it's like it's a 4-cost card. You can't run that in the odd deck. There's a problem because there's 2 types of synergies they're adding for the quest.
Yeah.
There's the Toxmonger and the Frenzy. And then there is the odd synergy.
But you don't really need an odd quest hunter, right? The hero power doesn't improve it that much. That's, like, the odd seems more for, like, completely face. Like, if you're gonna do Quest Hunter, do it properly with odds, demons, and put the Houndmaster and all that.
Probably, yeah.
Sure, that is. And probably also regular Houndmasters.
Yeah, that
way you can have three types of Houndmasters. 2 different types and 3 Houndmasters in total. Not complaining. So the warrior is pretty good that I've been facing. For some reason, statistical websites tell me that Spiteful Druid is like a top 3 deck.
Okay.
Top 3 tier 1, like highest win rate outside of Paladin.
Is it maybe because it's not played that much?
How come I don't face it?
I think it's not played that much, so the few games that are being played are being won, and also I believe it's only being played by actual good players, as opposed to the aggro decks, which are also played by a lot of beginners, which drags the win rates down. But
the aggro decks are still winning, though. Like, Odd Paladin and even Paladin are 2 of the highest.
If there's like 100 Spiteful Druid matchups, all of like top tier players, and there's like 10,000 aggro matchups being played by all kinds of players, it would make sense that the Druid would have a better win rate. I haven't seen much of
Spiteful Druid. You could also try doing the OTK Rogue, maybe, if you're feeling Rogue.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something like that.
I'll just have to see
There's
how the
so
meta
many
shakes out.
New possibilities, but Spiteful Druid, I basically not seeing that at all. Q block is still powerhouse.
That's what we said before the expansion. Like, Q block's not losing anything.
Ranks from 5 upwards. It's just Q blocks everywhere.
That's one deck that literally didn't lose anything. They lost some of the tech cards, but they didn't lose anything of the core. So, of course, you can still play it.
That's also kind of like, okay, here's kind of how I would attack the ladder, okay? So, say you're starting from 20, I'd go to, like, rank 10 to 8, just aggro Paladin, or, like, Odd Paladin, Odd Hunter, whatever, just hit him in the face. Because that's probably the easiest way to get up there.
It's also the place.
Yeah, it's also the place. So, that's when you hit, like, that top tier of really all the aggro decks, where there's really good players. Then you can switch to Q block. Because Q block, that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm a rank 8, 5 stars. I'm trying to switch now. I got there by Paladin and Hunter. I'm trying to switch to Q block now.
Yeah.
To make it up to like 5. And from there, when you start drowning in Warlocks yourself, I got my Shudderwock. Which, if it turns out that those Warlocks head more towards control, Shudderwock can beat a lot of those.
Yeah.
So maybe Shudderwock can just help you to, like, not specifically because it's the best deck for that high rank, but because of what you're facing there. Possibly.
Yeah, of course.
So,
at the higher ranks, you can consider more what you're facing because the crowd is not as diverse.
Exactly. When you're facing 80% Q block, you just play something that's anti-cubes.
I think if you're like a legend, you can actually, at sometimes you just recognize the people you're facing, so you actually know their decks.
Oh yeah, that's possible. There's not that many people who reach legend.
Also, I think the legend matchmaking, once again, is also not just like, oh, you're facing any legend player, but also like in similar
somewhere in the close
ranges.
Range, yeah, of course. So still got to do that at some point.
And then taking into account like time zones and shit.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. Let us know though what you think about the expansion. What is your favorite deck type so far? There's a bunch of stuff you can talk about. Do you face Spiteful Druid at all? What is your favorite Paladin, odd or even? They're pretty closely matched up. I'm an odd person, so I'm running the Odd Paladin. Also running the Odd Hunter. That's only because I have Baku and not Gen.
Because you did not pull both in the same pack as someone else here did.
Someone else who may or may not be in the room at the current moment in time.
Check out the pack opening.
Check out our pack openings if you want to know more. We're not going to spoil too much of that. So let's get into the halftime show though, shall we?
Yeah.
This is going to be impromptu.
Yeah, so the whole thing that you suggested was yay or nay.
Mm-hmm. But we haven't written anything down.
Which means it's either going to be more fun or significantly less fun.
We're going to see.
We'll see.
Do you want to start off, or do we want to explain how the game works?
I'll say nay to starting off.
Okay, good. So you name something, anything, and then the other person would either say yay or nay, depending on whether they would accept or reject that thing.
Yes.
For example, pineapple pizza.
Nay.
Of course, I would say yay to that. Okay.
disgusting.
It's pretty good, man. I don't know what do you have, I guess. So what? So you got something?
Okay, let's see. Crunchy peanut butter.
Well,
the half the internet's gonna kill you anyway. So.
Yeah, no. So I'm just gonna say yay because it's peanut butter, right? I probably prefer the creamy version when all is said and done, specifically for protein shakes. But I mean, no peanut butter versus crunchy. I'll take the crunchy one. How about you? How about you?
I don't eat that much peanut butter to begin with.
It's pretty good.
I would probably also go with a smooth one overall, but you know, doesn't really matter.
I do prefer it, but it's still okay. Velcro shoes, yay or nay?
Yay!
Really?
Definitely.
That's like your thing, right?
It's just so convenient.
Yeah, it is, but it's just not that. It's just not that stylish, you know.
But it's so goddamn convenient.
Yeah, of course it is, but you know, I mean, what you're not leaving the house with sweatpants on.
No.
But talk about Velcro shoes. Why is that disgusting?
I can't stand it when people do that.
Really? Do it all the time. Maybe you should start working out for 2 years, do squats every day, and then see how you like wearing jeans. Yeah, exactly. It's your turn. See, this is where we need to start thinking about stuff.
The problem also is that we know each other rather well.
Yeah.
So a lot of those, it's just like, oh yeah, this. No, I don't know the answer, that kind of stuff. What could I ask you that would be intriguing?
A lot of stuff.
Tabletop role-playing games, yay or nay?
The only one I know is Dungeons and Dragons,
yes.
Right? So I guess I can't really say nay without being inconsistent because we play it, so I have to say yay. We could talk about that as another topic at some point later, though. Maybe in another podcast, because there's some stuff I have to say about it. Like I can now that I know it a bit better, I can give a bit of a verdict.
Okay.
About it, more or less. Okay, Shudderwock, yay or nay?
Yay!
Yeah.
Anything that has crazy combos I like.
That's what I thought.
Although, again, I think it's kind of sad that everyone runs, or most people run it with the OTK thing because, you know.
Well, yeah, but why would you...
That's the thing, right? That's the problem. If there's an OTK thing somewhere, people will use it.
Yeah.
But I generally prefer those wacky, crazy things if they're not quite so consistent and always the exact same deck. That's why I also like, you know, the whole Evolve stuff and Tess and that, everything.
But that's all just RNG. Like, that's not really competitive.
Yeah.
So,
although the Tess Rogue was doing kind of well.
Well, yeah, but let's see if that's still good. I mean, people are gonna run that in tournaments for the beginning, for sure, probably. But it needs to establish itself. And, like, just the random stuff is just not gonna be that. I typically don't like the whole, like, trust in RNGs type of thing. Because it's like, you want to win by being good, right? And having the best deck, and not just by getting lucky.
Well, you could also just end your tournament game by playing Yogg-Saron and just, you know...
On one, yeah, when your opponent's on 1 health, you just hit 4 Leroy Jenkinses in the face and you just jog. You could do that. You could do that. I mean, not saying anyone would do that, but you could. It's your turn, I believe.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
We should have really not done this impromptu.
Oh, impromptu is great. I like impromptu stuff. It's good.
God. How about this one? Novels, yay or nay?
Oh my god. Not nay. I'm gonna say nay. I'm not a book person. Not at all. I don't know. Nay. The more I come to think about it, no, absolutely not. I'm not a fan, man. I don't like reading. Okay.
I just don't get around to it anymore. Is the thing.
Would you like to read if you had the time for it?
Yeah, I mean, I used to read a lot.
That's like one of the lowest things on my list of priorities that I would do. Like read, like sit down and read a book, like a novel.
Yeah.
Just a storybook. What does that do for you? It doesn't do anything for you. If I'm gonna read like a book on some specific matter that I can study. Like I'd much rather read a book on like Hearthstone or chess for that matter, something that you can learn from.
I love
Science.
How, at first it sounded like, oh, he's all kinds of goal oriented, and then your goals are to improve in other forms of like entertainment and competition that again don't have any real world implications.
Well, how does that not have any real world implications? It's games, right, that you can possibly play competitively, or just
if you're
interested in getting good at something. Like, what are you gonna get good at while reading a novel? Reading novels? You're not gonna get good at solving crimes from reading Sherlock Holmes, man.
Probably not.
So I'd much rather read a book on like science, anything like improvement type, psychology stuff, everything that's interesting that has somewhat of a merit to be applied.
Psychology is very interesting.
Yeah, psychology is great. Like astrophysics.
That's also interesting.
Study math.
A whole different level though.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, math is just fascinating. Like if you get into like the more abstract shit, it's like
it's great.
It's even tough to wrap your brain around why stuff works, but it just works.
It's pretty good. So novels, nay, because there's too much. If I were a person who read, which I'm not, then I still wouldn't read. Novels still wouldn't be on anywhere near the top of my list. I'm just not that type of person. Baseball, yeah or nay?
I mean, for me, nay, but I don't care what other people do.
That's what I was. I'm asking, obviously, for your opinion. That's what this game is about.
Yeah, like I couldn't care less. I don't watch it. I don't play it.
So it's like neither. So it's like whatever.
But it's like people can keep on doing it if they want to. Like, I'm not gonna stop anyone from playing baseball.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna watch it.
But when I'm asking yeah or nay, it's like, would you play it? And apparently you wouldn't.
Well, it's like, if someone offered me like a good contract, sure, I would do it, but I'm not gonna like train to be a baseball player.
Like, be our third relief pitcher, and when you for some reason going up to the plate, just stand there and take a strikeout and then just be walked anyway. Because the pitcher can't hit the strike zone, and I'm talking about a specific video here.
Yeah.
Go check out John Boyce, by the way. The man does great work. Chart Party, SB Nation, all that fun stuff. It's your turn. Let's do one more.
Okay. Because, I mean, it kind of builds on the previous one, but in general, fiction, yay or nay?
Damn. That's a broad subject, and I like some parts of it, but some parts of it I don't. So I'm just gonna say,
because you're not into TV shows, you're not into movies, you're not into books.
I'm gonna preemptively say yay, and then I'm gonna explain why. So for example, cartoon, everything like all things cartoons, right? Video games like Hearthstone, all that's all fiction, right? That counts as fiction. So Life is Strange would count as fiction.
Yes, definitely.
The Walking Dead.
I'm pretty sure that didn't happen, yes.
The Telltale games. That all counts as fiction. So, it's basically everything that's not real, right? All the non-real stories. Even though there's probably more fiction out there that I dislike than I would actually enjoy, but there's still a lot of fiction out there that I do like. As in, like, the specific video games. Or as in, like, Garfield. Or as in, like, Family Guy. Like, some certain TV shows that I do like. Doesn't mean I need to like what does it even like shows such as, I don't know, like Game of Thrones, is that even fiction? That count as fiction?
Yes, that did not happen.
So fiction
they have dragons, for fuck's sake.
So fiction is everything that didn't happen.
I mean, it's basically anything that's like a made up story will be considered fiction, yes.
Okay, so in that case, well, Rick and Morty is and all that, so definitely yay. Even though the majority of it would probably be nay because it doesn't interest me, but as a general concept, I appreciated it being around in existence. Okay, that's yay or nay. If you have some more yay or nay questions that you want to know the answer to, leave them in the comments and we might answer them. Let's get to the fact of the week, man.
Oh yeah, we're doing facts of the week, right?
What is your fact of the week, JJ?
My fact of the week is actually related to something that we almost did in this podcast, but then didn't do. And that is that we are not going to do... The reason why we're not doing Greatest Royal Rumble predictions in this... Greater? I think it's Greatest. Is that there's still Raw and SmackDown coming up. We might do a separate video on that, but I'm not going to guarantee that because our schedules are a bit hectic right now, and those kind of like short before the event kind of recordings might not work out.
And it's taking place before our next podcast release. It's taking place
on
Friday for some reason. So there might not be one, but there might be one. Also, PSA to everyone, if you're listening to this, join the initiative and boycott the watching of SmackDown Live until the wandering abomination that is known as Paige is removed from office. Thank you. My fact of the week is that the Shudderwock Shaman that we have, I think we've touched on that before during this podcast.
Maybe.
Slightly. Has one of the worst win rates at the moment in Hearthstone.
Because everyone's playing it and it's not that consistent.
A variety of reasons. First of all, it very much struggles against aggro.
Yeah.
Which is played now more than ever.
True.
At the moment. And also because the concept, like the whole deck type, is completely new. No Shudderwock has been played before. That type of shaman has never been played before, so it's completely new to people. There's nothing new to an aggro paladin or a face hunter. People have figured it out.
Yeah, true.
So, Shudderwock is still pretty low. It's still developing, and the learning curve is still pretty big for it. That's why it's sitting at like a 42% win rate or something like that. It's pretty bad at the moment. Certain decks, it just destroys. But certain decks just destroy it.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen a Shudderwock beat an Odd Hunter. Never.
I'd actually be kind of curious about the Shudderwock versus Disco Lock matchup.
Oh my god, we're gonna play that?
I would have to build a standard Disco Lock for that, but...
We can do that next week at some point if we feel it froggy. That's our fact of the week. Second topic,
and this one was inspired by us right before the podcast started, actually talking about this a bit on our own. And that is how college versus high school, basically, and how college is awesome and how high school was shit.
I disagree with that introductory statement that JJ made there. If you're just gonna say which one's better, college or high school, my initial thought would be high school. But then again, what's better, college or high school? Lifestyle, college, because it's just easier and more relaxed. So here's the main point, right?
And once again, we can only talk of our personal experiences.
Yeah, of course.
It might be different from everyone. Certain things are different from school
If
to school.
if you get like your PhD, it's gonna be probably pretty tough too.
Yeah, and also just in general, like if you're going to like maybe even a different school in like the same city, certain rules might be different.
Exactly, but we're in our sophomore year, so it's not the hardest thing ever. So basically, what I've come to notice is that college is a lot more relaxed because while your weekly schedule consists of like 12 to 16 hours, whereas in high school it will be 6 hours or 8 per day.
Yeah.
Every day. So that'd be like basically like a full week of work. And in college, you can choose not to show up.
Yeah.
Whenever you like. You don't need to get up as early. I need to get up. Okay, I need to show up at 10, I believe, twice a week, and then 12 once a week.
Yeah.
Which is way better.
Also like 12 once a week and 10, 1.5 times per week because there's one lecture that's only every other week.
And in high school, you need to show up at 8 every day. Something like that.
Yeah.
So the the sleeping type, the waking up definitely goes to college. Absolutely. The relaxed type of stuff obviously goes to college too. What also is an argument for college would be you get to choose more specifically what you want to do.
Yeah.
So if I'm not gonna try to be studying French, and I'm not gonna be trying to doing arts and crafts, and I'm not trying to become a professional in geography, school's gonna make you do it, right?
Yeah.
For the longest
time. Did I ever
time
mention how I once almost failed because of French and arts and crafts?
Exactly, right? So in college, I can be like, okay, I'm doing economics, you're doing computer science.
Yes.
Most of what we're doing is just related to math, which we like. So that's of course a good thing, right? But here's basically where it's very cheap food. That's also a pro for college.
Yes.
They feed us well and they feed us for very little money. I'm a huge fan of that.
Also talking about food, one thing that was bothered me in school was that our teachers would not allow us to eat. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we had a single. Well, we had one teacher that would allow us to eat during
Some
lessons.
would do it, but
in general, like, and then like half the teachers wouldn't even allow you to drink.
see, I had one
Like,
teacher.
I'm not saying drink alcohol or anything. I'm saying drink water.
Yeah, right. At all. See, I had one teacher who you also know who was also pretty great, and he was like, basically, he'd have coffee ready for everybody.
I know.
He'd be bringing in cake and chicken and all that bullshit into class. It was great, man.
But that is very clearly the exception, not the rule.
That was the 2 best years of history class I ever had. Shout out to you, mister. You know who you are. Great guy.
Do you think he's watching the video?
Probably not, because he's probably got better stuff to do.
Fair. So yeah, like in college, like they don't care. Like
Yeah, you can do whatever.
like earlier today, we literally, well, at this point is yeah, but anyways,
Yeah.
we literally drove to the local McDonald's,
Pick up
got
some
myself a chicken box, and I sat down in the lecture and ate my chicken.
Great. Yeah, it works.
It's awesome.
No one cares about it. I've seen people popping bottles of beer in the back of the in the back of the lecture halls, and no one gives a rip about it. It's like it's crazy. So college, you can do whatever the fuck you want. That's definitely a plus that goes to college. Now, here's where that whole thing stops, right? Because college is not a community. It is just not. You're in college by yourself. College
not
is
necessarily.
College is just you go there by yourself. Here's the thing, right? When I'm not in a lecture hall, I got my earphones in my head. I'll be walking straight. I'm not looking at anyone because I don't want to talk to them. I don't like college people. I'm just gonna flat out. I don't like the people there. 99% of the people I don't like there, because there's 2 types of people, right? There's those who completely waste their lives being stupid and doing bull crap, which is people that I didn't like in high school. And there's arguably probably the same, like maybe even worse, but at least as bad, the really stuck up people. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Like them really fancy. Man, I hate them. Those dudes exist a lot in economics, man. There's a lot of those people. Like, I don't like them, man.
Yeah, I mean, computer science is all nerds, so that's cool.
Yeah, people be talking in ways that's like, it's, who talks like that in real life? They're all talking like they're from some type of like upper class fancy family. So I don't like either. And have you looked at some of the people that walk around in college?
I don't usually talk to random people.
Like, just stand in the middle of lunch hall for like 50 minutes at like 12 or like 1 p.m. and look at the types of people that walk around is crazy. It's like, what are you even doing here? So I don't like the people there. I just don't. There's like literally a handful of people that I've met that I even talk to at all. There's one dude that I talk to, someone on the regular, which you don't know. I met him there for some reason at some point. Also lives on campus, which we don't. So, I only tend to see him like once a week or something like that. He's kind of right. Exchange a few words. But other than that, hate the people there. Now, in high school, it was more
You were constantly complaining about the people there.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I didn't hate 95% of the people. But there was 5% there, right? So that you don't have that in college. So in high school, you would sit down during recess and you would sit down with a circle of friends. Like, for example, we were in high school together.
Yes.
We're still in college together, but we don't meet up that much. And it was our friend Joe and a bunch of other folks, right?
Yeah.
Sit down and play cards and have them talk, right? You know everybody in your class, right? Class was a community. So that history class that I mentioned, right? There was 10 people in there.
Yeah.
See them every day, right? It was great. We having coffee and chicken in there and cake, right? Having debates and just talking. I was talking football to my teacher for like half hour beginning of every lesson because he don't care, right? That was great. Like, that was fun. That was community. That doesn't happen in college. In college, it's just everyone goes there, strictly business. No one gives a rip. And I know there's people who do it differently. Like, there's the people who got friends in college. They walk around in groups.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
So
it's not the same.
I mean, for me, it's a bit different because you mentioned Joe.
Yeah.
Like, he and we both study computer science.
Yeah, that's true.
We're in the same semester. We're taking the same courses. We're driving there together.
Yeah.
And back.
Well, obviously then, yeah.
So that's like, well, we're together most of the day. And then there's like, maybe like a dozen people, maybe not quite, but like I don't know, like 8 or 9 people that you kind of like know, that you talk to on like somewhat regular basis. So, you know, that just happens.
For me, it's like, there's typically not one person that I see in one semester that I'll see in the next one as well.
Well, also for computer science, it's definitely like smaller groups.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, our lectures, like the 4th semester lectures, they don't even have them in like any kind of like major rooms. Like, they'll just have them in like normal, like flat rooms.
Really?
Where like there's like some lectures we have. There's like 20 people sitting there.
Don't like those rooms, man.
There's like 20 people sitting there, right?
Yeah, I know.
And the prof is holding a lecture. There's like that. You know.
Nah, man. Places be filled up for my lectures. It's crazy. Even the big halls. We be sitting on the floor and on staircases.
So
it's insane. Standing outdoors, it's crazy.
Like, that's totally different for us. Like, even like the lecture halls that we had like in the 1st and 2nd semesters, like they're like maybe half full during the first lecture because everyone's there to know like the details of like, you know, like how's the exam gonna be, like is it gonna be interesting in this lecture to begin with, that kind of stuff. So, you know. So
like, for example, like this Tuesday, which is the one lecture that I got every Tuesday morning, I was sitting on the floor like a good 70 yards away from the professor in the front holding his lecture, talking about stuff. He's got 2 small projectors there. I can't see shit because I'm sitting on the floor. People be sitting in chairs in front of me, right?
Yeah.
Cannot see a thing. Can barely hear a thing. It was a flat room. Huge hall, but flat room. No staircases, right? So there's like no way to see if you're not sitting on a chair or standing up. I'm not standing up there. It's hot outside. I'm not doing that. Can't even get the lecture script. Dude sells it. Like, dude sells it. He won't put it online. He'll sell it for real currency, man. How am I supposed to buy?
There's probably some rules against that.
He totally does it.
Talk to your representatives, man.
Several people does it. Dude sells that stuff in book form, right? He'll print it and then he'll sell it. But he won't put it online. He won't provide the file.
Like our computer science student council thing, whatever the technical term is, they offer you to like print all the scripts for lectures for like I think like it's like 50 cents or like
we can also do that. Script. We can also do that. Go to some copy shops and like that. We can totally do that. But why not just provide? I'm not trying to rant about that one professor, but why not just provide it online? He's talking about some type of copyright. Like, not everyone else does it too. There's some people there that be streaming their lectures online, so you can listen to it from home.
The copyright thing is technically a legitimate concern because sometimes the presentations will contain copyrighted images.
Understood, of course.
But the simple solution to that is to just put a password on it.
Yeah.
Because then they can't really complain, which is what some of our professors are doing.
Yeah.
So they just put a password on it.
We've had that a lot.
Just in the first lecture, they're just like, oh yeah, by the way, here's the password if you want to access the scripts. Done.
They've done that a lot for us too, but there's a bunch of people who are just gonna be assholes about it. Whatever. That's another thing that's not as cool about college. They expect you to buy your own books and all that shit, but
I mean, there's also one of those things that I find is interesting. Because in school, they're like, okay, like, here's your stack of books.
Yeah, there you go.
Deal with it.
I'll just hand it to you.
In college, it's like, oh yeah.
Buy your own shit.
Here's a list of books that you might be interested in reading about, but at the end of the day, I always look at lecture scripts and everything that's necessary for me is in there. Right. I've never picked up a single book for college.
Like, neither have I so far, except for some legal text. But this semester I'm going to have to, because there's one lecturer who actually requires a secondary source to be read, which is a small book that we need to read.
Okay.
For the exam, which isn't in the lecture script, so that kind of sucks. I need to acquire that for myself. That's definitely a pro for high school. But how about like the community thing, right? That's like my strongest argument. I don't like going to college and being like, for the time being there, I don't like it. Which when high school was always like, okay, I'm pretty cool with this. I actually kind of enjoy being here. It's kind of fun being here. In college, it's just not the case. It's just work, getting it done and getting it over with and going the fuck home. I know that a lot of people felt like that in high school. It was like, oh no, I just want to get the fuck home, right? I don't want to be here anymore. It was never that way for me. It was like, oh, I'm cool with this. Now I'm feeling that way in college.
Well, for me, it's almost the other way around. I mean, like towards the end of high school, it was cool. Like we were like playing poker and shit.
Like last 2-3 years was great.
But like in college, like there's basically also we have like a circle of people there, similar to how it was in high school. Right. And then like if we have like time between lectures, and the other people have time between lectures too, because they might have different lectures. But then we'll hang out or something. You claim to be more of an introvert than I am. Yes, but I've got Joe with me.
See me in college.
Dude, the thing is, right? The only reason why I know people, most of those people, is because Joe is with me, and he's very much a social person.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, I'll just be sticking around with him. He'll start talking out people, he'll start befriending them, and I'll just somehow be there too.
That's how he does. I avoid conversation at all costs. I'll be keeping my headphones in from like the top. Like, I'll take them out the time I'll sit down in a room and lecture stores. I'll take them off, and before I even leave the room, I'll put them back in. And that's how I walk around. Like, I'll have them on while eating. I take them off for ordering because people won't communicate with me. But like while eating, I'll have them. I'll sit down on a table by myself. I'll look for a table by myself. I'm not trying to talk to anyone there. I just don't wanna. I really don't. I have no desire to talk to anyone there. It's crazy. And that was different in high school. In high school, it was cool. You had your like 50 people that you knew. Like, maybe even less than that you knew and you were cool with and you saw every day. Like, right now, there's no one you're going to see every day. For me, that is, right?
Well, I mean, there's no one I'm seeing every day either because I'm only going there 3 days per week.
Or, like, every day you're there.
Yeah, okay.
Or even every week. There's always new people. And whatever room I walk into, I'm basically like, I've never seen any of these people.
And there's like 1,000 people there.
Or even if there's like 20 people there, or 30, like the smaller ones. Like it changes from year to year, semester to semester. So, and also lecture to lecture for some reason.
Well, like for me, it's now changing a bit more too because starting with the third semester, you can basically take your shit in whichever order.
Yeah.
But like the first 2 semesters are pretty much set, so a lot of the people that you saw in the first semester,
exactly. That's also true. So college is for me, just get it done and get home. I don't like it. I don't like being there. And also the travel, obviously. For me, it's an hour to travel there, whereas to high school it was, let me think, about 25 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I literally live right next to the building, right? In college, I need to take a bus or a train and then another bus. And then I need to walk.
Actually, interestingly enough, the travel time technically for me is almost the same. Because for high school, I would need to take the bus.
Right.
Because I didn't have a driver's license back then.
And then walk.
And then walk a bit, so like that would end up being like 20 to 25 minutes. And now like, to college you can go by car.
Picking up Joe on the way also takes like 40 minutes.
Yeah, it takes like 40 to 45 minutes if I pick him up. If I'm just going alone...
It's more convenient.
If I'm going alone, I'm going to be there in like 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's been really much the same amount of time, even though it's like multiple times this.
So that, for me, it sucks. I'm not gonna go and live on campus, by the way. That's like the worst thing I can imagine. Spend 24/7 with those folks. Oh.
Yeah, no, like, you know.
I don't, man. The packed buses and all that.
Like, the one thing that I could see myself do if I had the money to do it would be to like live in the city, like somewhat off.
But have your own apartment somewhere, right?
Yeah, like somewhere
not
downtown,
on campus.
Like right next to the bus route.
I could do that too.
To college.
We could totally live
because there is like 10-minute bus routes or something like that.
Yeah, we could totally have like an apartment together with like Joe. So I could do that because then I know y'all, right? But like random folks in a huge, but no, man. No, sir, can't do it. It's I don't like college people. Try to convince me of something different in the comments, something like that. I hate the community. I hate it so much. Like there isn't any is the thing, right? This is just strictly business now. So where I much rather be is obviously high school. That was just always a more fun experience to me. But that I guess that varies. I don't quite get how. Apparently, you're still better at making new friends than me.
Again, just by proxy of having Joe.
Right, but even if Joe was there, I wouldn't do that, probably. Even if I was in your... Okay, maybe, because then I'll be sitting around with y'all all the time. But if it was just someone there that I knew, and he knew other people, I don't think so. Not in college. There's just too many folks there. If there's that many people, you're never gonna get to know a few people for real, right?
Well, then you can start meeting up with them once a week and play D&D.
Right, you can do that. So for me, like all my, let's call them friends, whatever, are all people that we went to high school with or still going to my high school, which I live 25 seconds away from, so I tend to see them a lot. Or people, of course, who play my football team, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, from college, no mas. So let us know what you think. Are you in high school? Are you in college? Are you in middle school, elementary, JUCO, in the working life, retired, dead, buried, whatever? Let us know about your current situation and how you like it, if you prefer to something. Statistically, like studies show that college times are the happiest times of people's lives. I could not disagree more with that. But that is me being me. So let us know what you think about it, how you feel about it. Like the video, that would help us a lot. And we're not gonna end it right there because we still got a song coming up. I was about to go into the thing there, but we're not doing that. But we got a song. So what is your song, JJ?
My song actually related to driving to college, not actually contextually or anything, but just because.
But you listen to it.
So, okay, let me explain it to you. I'm not sure if the audience is gonna understand it, but Joe has been driving a lot lately.
He been driving, really?
And he has like one CD in his car that has like...
Let me guess, it's AC/DC.
Yeah. It has like 12 songs in it or something.
He's like the biggest AC/DC fan of all time.
So that CD has been playing a lot. And one song on that CD that stands out, because like, song comes on, he turns up the radio, we start singing along, that kind of stuff, because it's fun, is TNT.
Really?
Because you can just easily sing along from like...
Yeah, because the lyric isn't that tough, right?
Yeah. It's great.
So that's the song of the week, TNT, baby.
Yeah.
Really? Alright. So.
It's the literal song of the week because we've like... We've had that like 2 or 3 times when like we're driving around,
the walking
windows rolled down,
again.
Radio turned up to like... Yeah.
I do the windows, rolling the windows down, turning the radio up too. But then it's like... It's better stuff. It's Bon Jovi, it's Michael Jackson, it's something. It's like it's like I kind of got the feeling that I have the obligation to spread good music to people. So whenever I'll be like I'll be driving to some place where there's people there, like some crowded area, I'll be turning it up, rolling them down, and rocking and rolling. My song of the week is by Creedence Clearwater Revival. It is called "Wrote a Song for Everyone," which you should know that song.
Yes.
Really good song. Not the... Well, I was just talking about rock and roll and getting hyped and all that. Not that type of song. Still a masterpiece. Because, first of all, John Fogerty is a master in all things music. But also the lyrics are great. So, you got your social criticism in there. You got your personal storytelling in there. You basically got everything that you need. You got your American history in there. And just great writing in general. So yeah, that song just stuck out to me. Great song, CCR, John Fogerty, splendid job as always. So is that enough for today? I think it is. 50 minutes are down. So all the whole talk again. Like the video, subscribe please to not miss any more uploads. Check some more Hearthstone stuff and our other gameplay. And we're gonna see you next time, JJ.
That's it.
That's it.